So I think for like childhood memory, I think one of my favorites would definitely be the people that I've met along the way. So in poly and university, I was doing my reports and papers from the notorious beer gardens in Geylang, and they were known for having a lot of vibrant nightlife in a different nature.
That's
And
very well put.
yeah, and for me, actually, it was a great immersive way of just being exposed to people whom we normally think negatively, but also then understanding them for who they are and seeing also the positives in them. So I think for me, it was that time period where I really understood like communities for their sacrifices that they've made to come here, their challenges that they face when they're here, the kind of like what goes on in their heads, the psyche, and kind of decisions that they make or the choice of career that they are in. And even for some of the customers, like motivations and what are some, reasons why they may be engaging in such activities which would be frowned upon in society. And for me, it was really an eye-opener to be just hanging out with them and being like a fly on the wall, but yet participating in their conversations and really, really enjoying myself a bit too much. At some point of time, I thought I might just become a beer drinking 20-year-old boy in a beer garden surrounded with lots of dodgy uncles. But yeah, I think that really got me to think deeper about Geylang as a community that's not just multifaceted or diverse for its food options, but then representative of the community of people as well that were equally diverse. And I think what struck me was how, for example, in the morning, I'll see the construction workers waiting for their lorries to get sent to work. And then at night, in the evening, I'll see the sex workers getting out of the apartments and then waiting for the men to pick them up to go to work. And then that was always a contrasting, narrative of, on both ends, spectrums of both migrant workers, both for construction or for sex work, coming to Singapore and earning a living, not just for themselves, but for their family. But for many of us who view and perceive them to be also just another person amongst us. And I think I had that privilege of experiencing that living in Geylang because my neighbors were, these populations. And unlike my friends who would, ask me about like what's my favorite brothel or sex workers nationality, I got that all the time in national service, like recommendations for favorite brothels or bars. It was really about who they are as people, look at them and like,
Yeah, I mean, we both have been through national service, which, by the way, national service is it's a compulsory 2-year military service that Singapore mandates all Singapore men above 18 years old to participate. So, if you could say one unique selling point about Geylang Adventures, what would that be?
Oh, I thought about Geylang.
Geylang Adventures.
Okay, yeah. I think, I think the fortunate thing is we haven't needed to market ourselves. So maybe that's why it doesn't come intuitively like what should I promote. But I think what I can say is what I enjoy sharing about is, especially for Singaporeans, like a different perspective of a place that's familiar to most of us, right? If not all Singaporeans, because we come here all the time for good food. So when I first conceptualized the tour, people thought I was crazy. Why would I pay you money to take me around a place that I can take a bus or train to and walk around myself? And I know a lot of people that go to Geylang to find sex workers, for example, and they're like, oh, I can do a better tour than you for sure. So I think that understanding of Geylang, I think reinforces the stereotypes. And for me, that's really my the joy of my work, to share about these other perspectives, to shed light into inevitably the communities as well that are affected by the stereotypes that we place upon the place. And that's where I think for me the question, the existential question is, right, are we understanding a place for its people, or, do we impose these perspectives on the place for its reputation? So Geylang Adventures is the methodology that I've taken and transplanted to other neighborhoods as well. not so much as geographical concerns anymore, but more of the social issues that manifest in these areas, and how do we, as someone living in Singapore, how we connected to them, and how can we also do something about it.